Hey everyone, I'm Alana, veteran hairstylist and curly hair expert, and I'm here today to talk about the Deva debacle. If you have curls and you're on the internet, you've probably heard what's been going on with Deva products in relation to hair loss and scalp irritation, all this crazy stuff that's been going on. I've been saying this for years, and I wish more people heard me. I had clients coming in years and years ago with these issues, and I have some tips today to help those of you who are on the road to recovery from thinning hair and hair loss. You need a soap molecule to bond to the dirt and carry the dirt away from your scalp while leaving your natural oils in place. So we want to keep our natural oils, but we don't want all the dirt from the environment sticking to the oils, clogging our follicles, leading to hair loss, right? I mean, would you skip bathing every day and just spray perfume all over yourself for a year and a half? I don't think so. Pretty much what you've been doing if you've been using a cream cleanser or shampoo that doesn't have a surfactant in it. Hair is hair, skin is skin. The scalp is skin. You wash your face with something that removes the dirt and makeup and oils that are not your own oils, right? But you want to leave your own oils in place on your face, on your décolleté. We treat our bodies so great, but when it comes to our hair, we just forget all the rules. Treat your scalp like skin, because it is. If you continue to just put a heavily scented conditioner on your scalp every day, thinking that it's going to be good for your hair, it's going to be bad for your scalp, which is bad for your hair. It can lead to all kinds of issues like ingrown hairs, breakouts, and you'll end up looking like something from Dr. Pimple Popper. Although if I had to choose, I'd probably pick that over hair loss. There was another product that went through this years ago that used to sell a ton to all hair types. It wasn't just for curly hair. It was called Wen. You don't hear much about them anymore because they have the same problem. If you don't clean your scalp, you're gonna have problems. So if you've experienced these issues, there are some simple fixes, and I don't want you to freak out that your hair is going to be fine forever and you're never gonna get your curls back and you've got hair loss that's permanent. In most cases, in my experience, it's a temporary situation and there are some quick, easy fixes. So I'm gonna help you guys with some basic things that you have right at home to remedy the situation. We're gonna try the old baking soda and vinegar mix from 3rd grade science class. Keep in mind, this isn't for everyone. Baking soda has a high pH level of about 9.5, so it can be irritating to the scalp. It's not good for people that have scalp irritation at all. It can irritate it more. This is just meant to exfoliate the scalp because it is coarse, so you can exfoliate your scalp with the coarseness of the baking soda. And the vinegar is meant to rebalance the pH of the scalp because vinegar has a low pH of 2.5. So usually from what I've seen online, people put the baking soda on first in the shower and then rinse with vinegar, or they just do a plain vinegar rinse. But we're going to mix the two together and kind of try to neutralize the negative effects by just doing it all at once. And it's a little quicker too. Keeping in mind that baking soda is a salt. And what have we been told with curls? Stay away from sulfates, which are salts. So you don't want to do this often. You only want to do this if you have a lot of buildup. And you want to keep it away from the hair strand itself as much as possible. We're working just with the scalp because the scalp is skin, just like your face. I read to mix 2 tablespoons of each online, but I tend to overdo things, so. It's wash day. My hair has been up, you know, overnight, whatever. So washing, woo! I have my mixture here. I'm gonna dump this in and exfoliate the scalp. Notice how I'm avoiding the hair ends as much as possible. Like when it starts dripping down, it's fine. You're gonna, you know, especially if you're not upside down like I am right now. But you can just hold your hair strands and ends out of the way so that you can keep the mixture off of the ends because we're working with the scalp, not the hair. I became a hairstylist to begin with just to figure out what to do with my own curls. I was picked on relentlessly as a child for my frizzy hair. Did you stick your finger in a light socket? And after a few years behind the chair, I started realizing how many people there were just like me with major issues with their textured hair. I was so excited when Deva came out because I was really looking to just have a line just for us girls with curls. And I brought the product into my salon and used it for a while and found that it just wasn't everything I had hoped for pretty quickly. Clients didn't really love it. They started experiencing problems like this, which drove me insane because I really was longing for something that would really work for curls. So just out of sheer frustration, I invented a product that does what I'm talking about. It cleanses the hair gently with a sulfate-free surfactant. You do need a soap molecule. This is what I use to cleanse my scalp every day, every wash day, and I've been using it since 2007 with awesome results. My hair is healthy, it's great, I can grow it long if I want. I have the best curls since I've been using this with no issues at all. So if you're looking for a gentle cleanser with a sulfate-free surfactant, this is your go-to. So I'm gonna go rinse this out, and remember, it's super important to moisturize your ends after you do this because this can cause a lot of dryness. It's going to open up the cuticle. It's stripping everything out of there. So this is kind of a big no-no, I know it, but if you're in the position where you already made the biggest no-no of all for a long time, you kind of have to go reverse that. I guess two wrongs do make a right. I'm gonna give my scalp a good massage and exfoliate that baking soda in as much as possible. Again, keeping it away from the ends as much as possible. I'm gonna give it a rinse and I'm gonna moisturize the heck out of it. I'll probably do a treatment with moisturizer only on the hair. Keep moisturizer or whatever conditioner you're gonna use away from the scalp. You don't want to just ruin all the work you just did and have to do this again. And since I have my big bowl out, I'll show you guys how to do the plopping technique. My hair feels fine. I kept the baking soda and vinegar away from the ends as much as possible, just really focused on scrubbing that scalp. It doesn't even feel really dry or anything. I don't have any feeling of irritation or anything on my scalp. So for me, it's a go, worked fine. My hair feels, it doesn't feel dry, feels fine. So I just rinsed that out and then I used a gentle cleanser, of course, a sulfate-free cleanser, and then I used moisturizer only on my ends as I normally do. So now I'm going to do the bowl method before I plop, and I'm gonna add ice. So this is something I haven't seen yet. This bowl method, at first when I saw it, I thought, well, what a big fat waste of time. But the more I think about it, it could help conserve a little bit of product and distribute product more evenly for those of you with fine hair. It might actually work well to like thin out some of the heavier products. So I'm gonna try it and see what we think. Who knows? My hair's wet, just got out of the shower, so it's still dripping wet. And from what I've seen online, it sort of makes a little bit of sense, is you just get your hair super wet. It's already really wet at my scalp, so I'm just gonna like get that on the ends. And then of course I use my curl cream. And I'm just gonna put a little bit. This is about how much I use on a regular basis. And I work it from the ends up. And this spreads pretty well anyway. It gives like a pretty good, like, the distribution is really good with the product on its own, but I can see how this could be helpful in getting your hair to really clump together more. For me, I'm guessing this is gonna make my hair have a more wavy look or a calmer look, so I'm definitely gonna diffuse. So I'm only gonna plop for a little bit just to let most of the added moisture, it's gonna be dripping wet. So I'm gonna like walk around for a little while, maybe put some mascara on, and then diffuse. So let's just do this first. So this is what the theory is, that you get this in, you get your product in all the way, and now there's a diluted form of the curl cream in the bowl. So you can use a lot of water, which is what I have now, just because it's easier to show you guys. Of course, I would do this in the shower, not on a table in my kitchen or office, whatever. But then run your fingers through a little bit to get any tangles out without stretching the hair at all, because curls are really sensitive when they're wet. So we're trying to, especially if you are trying to grow your hair back or you want thicker hair, you don't want to pull on it when it's wet at all. So be really, really gentle. And I only use one product, of course, so this is going to be the quickest, which is what I prefer. I like things to be quick, so this is going to be the quickest styling video ever, because I'm not going to apply 15 different things and then essentially just rinse them out into the bowl. So I just have my one product. I'm gonna add a little bit more in case this just isn't quite enough. Keeping it away from the roots because I want volume there. So I'm just barely like patting it on around the face and the hairline a little tiny bit just to keep that halo of curls at bay. And then just really scrunch and scrunch. And like, I remember when I was little, I used to get picked on all the time for my fuzzball head. And we'd go to the lake or something and everyone would say, oh my God, I love your hair when it's wet. It's so awesome. And we hear that from people all the time. Like, oh, if my hair would only look like it looks when it's wet because it doesn't have any frizz. But like, also you don't really want the wet look because then you have tiny hair. So if we could keep the frizz away and have it look like this, I think this technique could help a lot because it's really teaching the hair to form clumps. So it's a lot of work. I would do it in the shower and make it a lot quicker, but here we go. I think this is about it. Real exciting, I know. But you just get your clumps to form, and then, of course, you want to apply any product for curls on super soaking wet hair anyway. So you hear this. You want to hear that noise all the time when you're working with curls. You don't want to put any product on when your hair is like halfway dry because it just won't even do anything. So another thing that I always tell everyone is to rinse with ice cold water. And I live in the Northeast and it's freaking freezing in the wintertime. So it kind of sucks to have to do that. So I tell my clients to just turn on the tub nozzle and dip your head under there on ice cold water so you don't have to rinse your whole body with ice cold water. But in this case, I've got a bowl of ice. So just cool the water off a lot. And what this does is kind of seal the cuticle layer. So the hair strand has a cuticle layer, which is like shingles on a house. And so you can feel it. It's almost like a cat's tongue. If you rub against your hair this way, it's rough. If you rub down, it's smooth. So you want those shingles to go like this and lay flat. That prevents frizz, that keeps your hair healthier. It seals in any of the good products that you might be using as far as, you know, if you have a leave-in that you're using or the curl cream that I'm using, I want to like really seal that in. It'll get way better results too. So it'll help styling aids work better and really get that conditioner and or moisturizer into the hair shaft. So hot water opens the cuticle layer of the hair. Cold water closes the cuticle layer of the hair. So we want to have it a little bit open by using, you know, warm-ish water when we cleanse, and then close it down with moisturizer. So I applied the moisturizer, already rinsed it with cold water, and now I'm going to do a little ice dip and especially get really those ends. And I still feel like I have plenty of product in my hair. I'm not really rinsing it off because it's in the bowl. It's just another way to distribute it and maybe reduce the amount of product that's in the hair. So I can still feel the slip that's in my curls, and you can see they are already forming more closely together and getting some really nice, good clumps. So scrunch it a little more, get a little bit of the excess water out. I have fine hair. If you have thick hair, you could just flip up and let this air dry, and it would keep your hair looking really calm and, you know, have less volume. But I'm always looking for more volume. So I'm going to only plop for a short time, just until the water stops dripping. And I just lay the hair down on the table, take my little t-shirt towel, scoop it all up inside, like so. Keep these ends in. So now I'm gonna, this can create a little bit of more volume for people like me because I'm getting my roots of my hair not to dry flat to my scalp. So I'm just gonna have it all as much as possible because I don't have to be too careful because I'm not gonna let it actually dry like this. If I did, it would look like a felt cap. My hair would just dry in this shape and stay stuck like that. So I'm just gonna let it stop dripping in this position. So this is actually a good idea because right now my hair is, I've held my head upside down. So I'm getting my hair strands to stick straight up off of the root, and then I'm kind of squishing it back down on itself. So if I leave my hair down, it's just really flat to the root and can dry almost like adhered to my scalp. So this is keeping it off the scalp inside of the little t-shirt towel so that I can get a little more volume at the root. So every little bit helps when you're trying to get volume with fine curls like I have. Okay, so here's what it looks like after I have, oh hi! Go girl. So here's what it looks like after I've plopped. And okay, I can see why people thought of doing this. When I watch these YouTube videos, sometimes I'm thinking, why do we have to make it so difficult? Why does it have to be so complicated? We have the best hair. We can just throw product in it, let it air dry, and get on with our lives. But I can see this being of some benefit. So I do like the curl getting really formed together. That looks really good. I usually have a smaller curl, which I like too because it gets a lot more volume, but it's kind of a cool way to get a different look out of the same curl. So I have 3B hair, or 3A, 3B. I can make it look like 3C to 4A, or I can make it look just like beach waves depending on how I style it. So this is a thicker clump, and it's probably going to be less voluminous and just more of a beachy feel if I let it air dry, but I'll get more fullness out of it if I use a diffuser, which I'm going to do because I don't have time to let it air dry, and I like it full too. But the curls will be bigger and probably a little more, look more like maybe it was set on hot rollers than my natural curl if I style it this way. So I'm kind of liking it. Okay. I can see how this might be something I would try again, but let's see what it looks like when it's dry. Well, would you look at that? Just look at that for results. I like it. Yeah, it does. Actually looks good. It feels way lighter. And honestly, I lied. I said I was going to diffuse and totally ran out of time, got distracted, and had 50 meetings. And so I've just been letting it air dry. And normally when I air dry, my hair's not even this full. So I think it takes enough of the product off almost and does seem to distribute it more evenly. So my hair is usually not even this full when I diffuse it. So I take it all back. I actually like it. I think it's worthwhile. I think you can do it in the shower though. You don't have to like get a bowl out and go crazy applying 15 different products and all that stuff. I just used one. And look at it, it's really, holy cats. Look at that. I'm really happy with the bowl method after all. I think the ice cubes, adding the ice cubes to it to lock in your product will be helpful. So you can use your favorite styler. This probably won't work with an oil or a butter because I am guessing that this has to be water soluble to be able to mix in properly. So I used Control Chaos Curl Cream, of course. The product is water soluble, so you don't have to worry about it sticking to your curls, and it will work with this technique. So I guess that's the big thing that you just have to look out for to make sure it probably won't work with an oil or butter because they would just separate or stay stuck to your hair, and then the water would repel off of it. Whereas this really does seem to coat every single hair strand. And normally my curls look this good. They're all about this thick usually. So you can imagine with them being this thick, I would just have smaller hair all over because I wouldn't have as fine pieces that have formed into curls. So if they were all this big, my hair would not be as full. But now I can't wait to see what will happen if I do diffuse it, because I bet I could get some major volume, which is totally what I'm into these days. I love it. So I'm surprised. Happy results. So as you can see, my scalp is fine, perfectly healthy. don't have any redness or anything. I do have fine hair, so usually I have to be really careful of it, but the baking soda and vinegar wash worked well to clarify my scalp. So if you're doing that, if you've had any hair loss issues because of co-washing or using a cleansing conditioner or, you know, any of those like CG techniques that are out there now, you can use that as one thing. And it's not only Deva Curl, it's anything that is like that. It's any product that claims to wash your hair, but it doesn't contain a surfactant or a soap molecule. So you need a soap molecule that is not a sulfate. So you want a sulfate-free cleanser that's really, really gentle on your hair. Otherwise, you're not cleaning your hair. But it's not just Deva. It's anything out there that is claiming to wash your hair, but it doesn't suds up at all. That's just a heavily scented conditioner, which is just like spraying perfume on your body instead of taking a shower every day. So make sure you're cleaning your scalp every day. You don't need to wash your hair ever at all. Just clean your scalp with the right cleanser and you should have really, really healthy hair. There are also 100 different ways if you have an irritated scalp and you don't want to do the baking soda vinegar trick. There are clay masks that are really, really great, and I love using skincare on my scalp. So if you have a mask at home that's for your face, you can, I would take in sections, you know, avoid the hair, but like just put that mask on in sections, you know, this kind of technique, get it in at the scalp as much as you can. And something with like a sea clay is really good to draw out impurities. You can use that on your scalp because again, your scalp is skin and a healthy scalp means healthy hair. It's a shame that Deva is taking all the blame for this because it's not just Deva. It's a multitude of a bunch of products that are out there that are causing this issue. So the best takeaway I can give you is most of you don't have anything to worry about. In my experience, this is a temporary situation, so don't freak out. Just make sure that you're clarifying your scalp, keeping whatever you're using for a clarifier away from the hair, so you don't want to dry the hair, and do some nice deep conditioning treatments. I'm going to show you how to make some rice water. I find that works really well. Rice protein is awesome for hair and can build some strength. So I'm going to show you a couple little DIY things that you can do now. Hair vitamins, of course, are great. So if your thinning hair or hair loss is related to your follicles being clogged, you don't have anything to worry about. It's not permanent. You can fix it. So hopefully this helped. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. If you want to comment and give me some more ideas of things you'd like to see, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might have. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.